crocodile, yeah, I'm washed in the blood. Made new, who I was. He saved me by grace. He did it just because. Yeah, my flesh was on E. Had to fill it with the spirit. God, I could bleed. Secretly in prayer, gotta keep it real discreet. All the verses they don't write on God breathe. For Christ, only got one life. Got one shot at this, I gotta do it right. Gotta do it right. Yeah, I gotta do it right. Do it for Christ. Only got one life, one night. Got one shot at this, I gotta do it right. Yeah, I gotta do it right.
They be asking how I do it. I put God in. Stop until my time in. And one day I leave this earth, it ain't no time limit. He only made it possible, I swear I bonded for. I can't break, I'ma always keep my faith. Outside the church, I let it shine, I never take the easy way to get out. Now I can say, glad to see another day. I was down there, let me out, but he won't leave me either way. Facts, I know he got my back, I don't need to look for him. Cause I already know he at. That's facts, I ain't going back. I don't need to say too much, and I'm just leave it at that. I'm bringing out all of my people. If I let you, just know you gon' eat you. If you hold on to the pain, it's gon' eat you. I can show you a little something, let me teach you. See me, I'ma do whatever I need to. Don't ask what I do what he do. If you say he ain't real, don't believe you.
It's not right. It's not here right now, but it's Wealthy Marriage Wednesday still. It is still Wealthy Marriage Wednesday. But you know what happens when you have a partnership? Sometimes you have to divide and conquer. So right now you have Coach Joy here, and I am going to kind of just give you some little info about, just a little bit something. We focus on real estate. And so one of the things that I particularly have a near and dear to my heart, one of the things that I immerse myself in our business is dealing with our tenants. Is dealing with our tenants and being able to select the right tenants. So that's something that's really important. It's really important. And so today, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit. Just talk to you a little bit about the rental roulette. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up my little. There we go. The rental roulette. Choosing tenants wisely. This is something that we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of questions about how do you choose your tenant? How do you find good ones, reliable ones that's gonna stay with you, won't tear up your stuff, won't tear up your property. And so I got some few pointers that I just like to share with you today. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get into it. Y'all send a shout out to Coach John. Hopefully he'll be able to be in the chat to say what's up. So let's talk about choosing tenants wisely. So first, some couple pointers that I would like to share with you about how to overcome the fear of picking out the right tenants. That is one of the things that I know that is really, 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 really just important. And it's a concern for a lot of people who are going into real estate. I'm also going to be able to share some quick tips about how to create some strong tenant relationships to help you keep those long-term tenants that don't want to leave, they just want to stay in your properties forever. So those are the ones that we're going to talk about today. And then to be able to give you some best practices on how you can identify good tenants and some red flags. The red flags are will help you avoid those tenants that you don't want. And then I'll give you some just share some 5 questions that you'll be very glad you asked when it comes to interviewing your tenants. Because really your tenants are more like employees. This is a partnership where you get with your tenants because they're going to be in one of your properties. And so it's more of an employee type of relationship. So one of the things that I like to share is how to overcome the fear of tenants. Some of the most important things that you can do is be clear and upfront with your communication. I'm gonna tell you, having clear and upfront communication is so important because if you're clear with your expectations about what you're gonna provide to them and what your expectation is for them when they're part of your once they move in as a tenant, and there's no confusion. There's no, I didn't know, I wasn't sure, I thought you said this, I thought you said that. But if you are clear and upfront what they're responsible for, so for example, the rent is due on the 1st. Rent is due on the 1st. Clear and upfront. Rent is due on the 1st. Then that be clear and in your lease upfront so that everyone will know when to expect to pay rent. And if it's paid on the 2nd, it's late. Just make it clear so it won't be like it's a surprise. Like, oh, I got a late fee. Yes, because rent is due on the 1st. So if rent is due on the 1st, then that's what it's due. And it's clear and set. And all that you say is due, then it's no confusion. And then one of the things is to ask questions and more questions and then more questions because you want to be all up in their business. Because the more questions you ask, the more information that you have about the tenants, then the easier it is, the better it is. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Newsflash.
This is it.
Look.
You better be all up in their business. Don't play them games. Don't play no games. You better be asking everything. That's right. You matter of fact, you promoted now to somebody's pastor now. You just get pastor nosy skills. You can just get all up in their business as personal. They ain't got to answer all your questions. You can ask your questions. And so you answer them. Obviously, we're going to follow fair housing laws. Yeah. But at the same time, you get to be nosy.
No discrimination here. Right. So ask all them questions, but we also want to operate in integrity. So in integrity means you want to do what you say you were going to do and not go back and be like, oh no, I didn't say that. Just be a man or woman of your word and do what you say you were going to do.
Big facts. Yeah. Big facts.
And then always stick to your rules.
Yeah, you got to stick to your guns and stick to your rules. Yeah. Hey, it's no joke about sticking to your rules too, because we got burned a lot of times by that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So here it goes. So it usually happens like this. Joy's sticking to the rules, and she's saying this is how we're supposed to do it. Yeah. And I'm saying this place ain't been rented for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What the problem is? Yeah. You need to get this place rented. And so then she starts looking at people who we probably shouldn't be looking at. They came in with a story, and then all of a sudden the story and all the drama that they was coming with, and they was missing a few things on the application, but we really, really wanted somebody so bad because we sitting over here paying the mortgage and keeping the lights on and all that stuff. So we just passed somebody, and they really weren't in a position to rent the property.
Yeah.
And so then it ended up bad. And then, we got to come back and clean it up. And it's usually my fault.
And then we got to start that process all over again.
Yeah. So don't waste all your hard work and by being, I want to say, just by being impatient. Mm-hmm. And I've been guilty of being impatient. And so don't be guilty of being impatient. Take your time, get the right resident, and make sure you treat them really well and take care of that place. And you'll be really glad that you did.
Yeah. So true. What he said. It's good. So also, okay, do that. Go ahead. Oh, there we go. So one of the next things that I've always found that was really helpful in our business when it comes to finding the right tenant is establishing those good tenant relationships. And so one of the things that's helped to be able to get good tenants is when you're having someone view your property, kind of let them go and have a self-directed viewing. Like those self-directed viewing helps them make it feel like it's their home, helps them feel like, you know, they can become one with the property. They can really see themselves in the property if you give them that time and that room to go in and view it on their own and not feel like somebody's over their shoulder, but you can always be near to be able to answer their questions. But we really want to make it feel like this is their home, because in all things, at the end of it, we want this to be the place for them that they call home, and so they can be really comfortable with it. Another also being able to accept get online maintenance requests. Like, you know, when you have a issue that comes up in the property, the ease of being able to communicate that with the property manager or whoever their contact is for the property, being able to do it electronically makes it so much easier, because then it's not just, oh, I called, or there's some documentation. And that documentation, when you get those online requests, is so helpful, because then you're able to track, you're able to see like when someone responded, when they sent it. And it just makes that, once again, it goes back to that clear communication, like being able to clearly know what happened, when it happened, and to be able to refer back to it makes it so much easier. And it gives the tenant confidence that that they were heard, because they'll see your response and know that, you know, their issue is of importance to you. It's not being pushed on the back burner or any of that. So that is, and that helps to create a stronger tenant relationship as well. Because like one of the things that we use, our online tenant software helps us to be able to do it electronically, so we can get those out fast. So that's really been a helpful part of being able to create those good tenant relationships. And then being able to do online applications, that just eases everything, makes it a smoother transition of being able to just to follow through your processes, because being able to do it online is so much easier, because you don't have to track somebody down to get an application fee and all that. So being able to go through the process of getting a good resident, all that technology is a plus in helping with those relationship as well. And then having a team in place, you know, being able to have a team, whether it's maintenance, all those things, just to be able to go to have that stuff there, to be on call, just creates some more confidence in your tenant relationships as well.
Hey man, you gotta fix some stuff.
Yeah.
And you want to have some unconfident people, don't fix nothing. Hey, being there, seriously, man, the number one key, I think, to making sure people are happy is when they don't have no problems. When the heat work the way the heat supposed to work, when stuff is, the water work the way the water supposed to work, when you walk in and the doors work the way the doors are supposed to work. And it's when you got issues with your place and it feels like it's falling apart, or you feeling like you unsafe, or you feel like you have to make a bunch of, you know, exceptions. Well, this is how you get the window open. You got to pry it twice and then knock it twice on the side. And if you want to lock it, you just stick the screwdriver here, you know, and tap it 3 times, not 4 times, or you're going to break something. It's like, you don't want to put people in those type of situations. And then also being responsive. And like, I know, to me, if I got an issue, I don't want it fixed now. I want it fixed right now. And that's why I'm renting. If I wanted to do all the fix ups myself or deal with some stuff that's not right, I'd own it my daggone self.
That's right.
You know, but I got you owning it. So the service that you're providing is fixing it up. So the smoother we make that system, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's what, you know, so that systems. Oh, so this is probably the key in getting some good and knowing how to pick the great tenants. There's always some red flags, but have your expectations of what the tenant must have to be able to be a resident in your property. So we would like for you to have 3 times the rent and the documentation to back it up. You know, and that would be, and then if you have Section 8 voucher.
Yes.
We want that in hand. Not like, oh, I'm getting ready to get it. Ready. I'm ready to have my meeting to get my voucher. No, we need it in hand.
In hand.
We need some good references.
Right. Not your best friend.
Right. Your good references of previous
your real properties. Employer. We can look up your people to see if they're actually real people too. Right. Don't be lying.
Right.
That's not the owner of the house. How come the owner of the house say this is John Johnson is the owner of the house? Right. But you got us calling Lakeisha Williams as the owner of the house. Right. Well, you're gonna have to help me with that, honey. You're gonna have to help me with that. How'd that work out?
Or why your job's phone number is the same as your cousin's.
Right. Come on, tell me about it.
That's not.
Does she work here? Oh yeah, she work here. She be working all the time, overtime and all of that.
Yeah, we need real documentation, letterhead. Facts. All of that. With the little ADP on the check stub.
Right.
We need all of that.
Right.
We need all of that.
Right.
We need it certified.
We doing the blue light check. Make sure that
the watermark needs to be on that.
See, the watermark is on.
Yeah.
You better turn into a PI.
All right, and we check those good references that you're gonna give us on your application as well. We're gonna check them. Right. That's good. And then also, one of the best things that their current residence where they're living is clean. Mm-hmm. Like, if they keeping their residence where they are now clean, then yours should be the same. But if you go up in there and it look like who shot John and what for, then you may want to rethink.
Who shot John and what for?
That's one of them old school expressions.
I like that right there.
I'm showing my age, John.
Hey, what's that?
I'm showing my age.
No, you got to get you a woman like that. Hey, my daddy said, go down there to Tennessee, find you one of them good old country girls. I said, man, he said one who could cook real good. I said, oh boy. And so she said, I'm from Kentucky. I said, whoa boy.
I did not say
the first time I seen her, I said she had no shoes on. She walked around barefoot.
Let's see.
And
now
I was
you
like,
tell us.
And I was like, can you cook? And she was like, I could cook. I said, woo, that's my kind of girl.
Oh my goodness. So watch out for the red flags. So some of the red flags that you really want to pay attention to. Here's a red flag. Is when they come into the open house and they got a wad of money. You know about that wad of money, John?
Don't tell them my story. Hey,
the wad of money.
The wad of money got me messed up. The first time we did a property, I was the person doing that. The wad of money messed me up. Yeah. I had about 30, 40 people look at the property. They was playing games, coming back and forth. Oh, I want to rent it, whatever. And then they wasn't following through. Yeah. Then I had one guy, he come through with a whole family. It was him, his girl, 3 babies. I was like, shoot. He pull up and I was like, all right, what's up, bro? He's like, man, I gotta have it. And so, what he does? He pulls out the deposit right in the moment, sticks it in my hand. Mm-hmm. Then he says, hold on, I'm serious about it. I'm going to pay you first month right now. And I was like, this sounds suspicious. So what did I do? I said, you got to pay me another double deposit now. You know what I'm saying? Because now I need last month, and first month, and a deposit. Yeah. I said, give me another stack of cash. He peeled me off again.
Oh, yeah.
And man, that guy ain't never pay again, man. It was messed up. He peeled off all them bills. We ended up having to do eviction.
Again, it was a process. So once again, beware if somebody comes with a wad full of cash. Mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10, they paying you somebody.
Hey, that cash feel good though. That cash feel good. You feel so validated.
It do feel good.
You just put it in your hands. You go home and you just throw it all over the bed, and you be like,
"You're making it rain."
What, girl? What? We getting money. We getting this money.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a rap video.
Now, red flag.
Red flag.
That's a red flag. Mm. Yes, for sure. So yeah, beware of that. Beware of that. And then, if they want to move in today, they come in, I want to move in today. They got the pocket full of cash.
Man, don't nobody want to move in today. These people who got to come today, they don't want to move in today. No. They have to move in today. Right. And so you got to ask yourself the question.
Why do they need to move in today?
What exactly happened? Okay, everybody didn't have a fire in their last house.
No.
Everybody, something happened that led to you being in a situation And whatever that is, you about to take that into my good property that I just fixed up. That looks all beautiful. Looks like
nice and pretty.
IKEA dollhouse. That's what it look like.
Look all pretty.
It looked like just absolutely immaculate property.
Yes.
And you're going to walk in with all of your drama.
Oh, yeah. Nah.
I talking about I have to have a place to stay. Yeah. I don't got no furniture, nothing. I just need a place to stay.
Well, they have hotels.
They have hotel. Go get your Airbnb.
Hotel.
You don't want to stay up in here.
Weekly rental things. I don't even know what
drama.
they would call it. Yeah.
Watch out for drama.
Yeah. For sure. And then when they don't complete the application fully.
That's a 911 red flag. If you got to ask them questions like, you didn't fill out this section on animal. Right. I didn't know how to market my because my friend got a dog and I didn't know if I should mark it or not.
Right, because it's not my dog.
Right. Well, it's more of a service dog, but it's not mine.
Got a what is it? A comfort support animal? What is it?
Right,
I can't even know what it's called. But everybody got one nowadays.
And make sure if they say they got a animal that they don't go to Canva. And then go to Canva and then make them an animal certification and print it off. No, they need to go and you need to check to make sure it's got a real certificate.
Right. And it's usually prescribed by a doctor.
Right.
That they need a comfort support animal or whatever it is.
So don't go for the fake animal.
Yeah.
No, everybody don't need 150-pound cane corso American bulldog as a support animal.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you just want some security and you want to have a big bad dog to make sure everybody don't mess with you and mess with your house, that's fine.
Right.
But that don't necessarily mean you're the right resident for this here property.
That's right. Thank you very much. Yeah. So and then they have a story for a story.
I know it.
Another red flag.
I'm gonna tell you right now. This is how they do it.
How they do?
Because I hear Joy be on the phone. She be like, "Hello, this is Joy." She answered the phone so sweet. "Hello, this is Joy." And then the person like, "I'm calling about the property on 5th Street." I just should say, "Okay, what you want to know?" "Well, see, what happened is I'm in this house and it's got issues and the landlord is this and I can't believe it. Then my kids did this and I was like, what? And then my baby daddy did this in the last place I was at." And they start talking this whole story. And I'd be like, "Babe, you all right? You still on the phone?" She's just like, "Yeah, I'm still on the phone." Like, look, don't entertain it. All right. Once they start with the story, they be like, "Can I get an application?" You just be like, "Yeah, it's online." Yep. You know what I mean? You can fill it out. And so them same people ain't gonna fill out the application. Then when they do, they gonna say, "Oh, well, I can't I can't do nothing with the payment. The payment ain't right, or the link is broken." Right. Or they're gonna say, "What, $40 for an application fee? What are y'all doing?"
What?
We do a background check and a credit check.
Yes.
"Well, my credit ain't good because the last person," and they start telling you the story why and then my background is bad. I didn't even beat her like that. She was lying. She wanted to be with my man.
I didn't really pull that knife out on her.
Right. What? Wait, what? Them charges is not even right. You're gonna look on the site. That's not real charges against me.
Right. They dropped them.
Okay, that's a story for a story.
Yes.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
You don't want that. No. So avoid those red flags. You will be happy that you did. Yes.
All right.
And these are my favorite because these are some questions that sometimes you don't think to ask. This gonna help you out. It's gonna help you out real good. So, does your current landlord know that you're moving?
You know full well if you moving and you living on good terms, you're gonna tell them.
Oh yeah.
Because you're gonna give what? 30 days notice. Like, "Hey, I'm sorry to leave. I just had this baby. I need another spot." Or, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting married. I got to get a bigger spot until we buy our house." Yeah. You're going to feel comfortable saying that.
Absolutely.
So why is it that the current landlord don't know you're leaving?
Right.
Well, do you own some money?
Right.
Have you not been taking care of the place?
Well,
what's going on?
Come on.
That is a good question.
Yeah. Oh, here's a kicker. If I go to the potential resident's house, if they fix me a peanut butter sandwich, would I eat it?
Very good question. Hey, you've ever been in somebody's house and then when you leave, you got to take a shower? Because they house smell like that?
Yeah, it smell like what?
Like that. Like
it smells like that. Yeah.
And like there's an unmistakable odor of weed smoke and dogs.
Oh my
When it's mixed together. that no matter what cologne you put on, no matter what perfume you spray,
I'm gonna tell you, whatever hair oil you put in your hair.
You know what I'm saying? It smelled like fried chicken, dogs, and weed.
It walk with you,
and it just keeps with you. So you go in and out of one of those properties, you leave and you smell it all day, and you like, and then you just feel a little, you know what I'm saying? You just
so if you come in one of those properties and then you look around, you look left and you look right, and
you caught the contact.
Oh man,
I think I'm high now.
Or you look left and you look right and you can't see the floor.
Right, that's right. Oh, I excuse my mess. No, I'm not.
This is more than a mess. This is a tragedy.
I've seen messes before.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you gotta think about this, because I'm such a nice person. You know, I'm sweet. I some people I just like, we just get along with me. So you can't just say, oh, I think they'll be a great tenant just because they were so nice and all that. No, do they meet the criteria?
Joy got an issue with little old ladies. If you're a little old lady, Joy just sit there and talk with you. Oh, I don't care what a little old lady says. Joy gonna believe it. She's going for it.
Oh, because they so hilarious. They don't have no filters.
Man, and they start telling Joy these stories, and they don't meet none of the criteria. But I just feel good about her. Yeah, okay, that's not it. Yeah. Is this small issue worth losing a good tenant?
Small issue. For instance,
if
they have had an eviction, but they're paying it, they're up to date, they're paying it, you can see, is it worth losing that good tenant if everything else?
Yeah. Is okay, so you look at their email address, and their email address is Mr. Super Clean. You know what I'm saying? Like Mr. Scrubbing Bubbles. Yeah. And they own a cleaning company, a small cleaning company. But 3 years ago, they're still paying on an eviction because they got into a situation with their baby mama. Right. Guess what? Okay, you might have a rule, but sometimes it's an opportunity where it's like, hey, this is a person right here, might be a person who's worthy of breaking the rule. Right. And so that's all it's saying is the rules are there, but you still got to use some common sense, good judgment, and have some grace.
Yes. And is this my customer?
Everybody deserves a great place to stay.
That's right.
That's just a fact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We believe that in our heart.
Oh yeah.
And so we work hard on affordable housing.
We do.
But that ain't mean that you're supposed to stay at my house. No. You know what I'm saying? You ain't mean you're supposed to stay in this hill building. Yeah. You know, you deserve a great place to stay. That don't mean they got to be here.
That's right.
Is this ain't, everybody got different standards. Yeah. And so if you're not in a life position to be able to afford a top quality rental product, then maybe they need to go to a less quality rental product in a different space with a different person who would be happy to rent to you because you're their customer. The customer we have is able to pay their rent. They're able to have 3 times the rent as their income. They are going to appreciate the finer things like stuff working and the beauty of the aesthetic that we so wonderfully designed.
Absolutely.
And so all of those things. And so are you the right customer? Right. And if you don't appreciate those things, or you come in here hustling, talking about, I want this property, I want to live here, but I just, the rent's high. Can you do 800?
This is not a negotiation.
Can you do 800? No. I know it says 1,000, but I just feel like it's more of $800.
No, sorry.
No.
This is not a negotiation.
Is the price. This is not a negotiation.
Yeah. So no,
and if you follow these keys, if you follow these success principles, if you follow this stuff, then you are going to be madly successful. And I'm telling you right now, you want to go to CoachJohnandJoy.com, and we are going to walk you through all the nuances to make sure you get a superior tenant. Also, to walk you through to make sure that you are treating your residents with care and that you're doing it the right way.
Absolutely.
And so anybody who tells you just throw somebody in there and it'll work itself out is lying to you.
Yes.
If you don't get the right partner in that right resident, then you're going to have a world of trouble, and everything that you do in this business is going to fall off. And so make sure you're doing it right, and you will be very successful.
All right.
That's you know what? Stuff. This was so good, Joy.
It was good.
You did such a good job starting this.
Thank you.
Joy's a wonderful. Look, didn't she do wonderful? And she's beautiful too. She's beautiful and wonderful. And so she's all mine. So get your sweetie, get your gumdrop.
Oh my God.
Let them know you love them, and then make sure you stare them in their eyes and then you just say it's always so much better together. All right, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.